Warning: this video may contain discussions and swearing unsuitable for a young audience.
Hey everyone, welcome to my Ring of Honor Final Battle 2011 pay-per-view review. Yeah, let's just get straight down to this. Don't want to waste time. It's Christmas Eve. Bittersweet pay-per-view in my opinion. You know, it was really a tale of two halves. It was just some stuff that was absolutely fantastic, and there was some stuff that really managed to annoy me on this pay-per-view. First of all, I'm gonna make this clear now, because everyone else is making it clear. This pay-per-view was way too long. Way too long. Very long. You know what? As for living in England, I watched till after half the show, so we were halfway through the tag team gauntlet match, and the Young Bucks were just coming out. And I just literally said to myself, "Wow, I'm too tired for this shit. The show has just been so slow." I turned off the computer, I went to bed, and I watched the rest this morning, which is probably shows why I have higher ratings for the last shows, because I was refreshed and I'd forgot all the shit. So you know, the last matches have higher ratings, but that's because I was refreshed when I watched them, and not like everyone else who had to sit through 4 hours of stuff that could have been crammed into a lesser time. Right, let's get this off the road. T.J. Perkins vs Michael Elgin, very good starting match, very good. I think they both, the styles, the powerhouse and the high flying, really complemented each other. You couldn't have asked for a better starter. I gave this one, again, it was quite low. I gave it 3 stars. People have given it higher, but I thought it was good. Next we have Tommaso Ciampa versus Jimmy Rave. As I said in my preview video, this match is basically just going to be to put Tommaso over, and that's what this match did. Jimmy Rave, he looked good, but I really don't think Jimmy Rave is a good face. I think he's a good heel, and hopefully he comes back to ROH full time, and maybe I do see him somewhere down the line joining the embassy again. Don't ask me when. I would say definitely by Final Battle next year, Jimmy Rave will be back in the embassy if he stays in ROH. Tommaso looked good in this match. Jimmy Rave looked good as well. Good back and forth action, nice finish. Gave it 2.5. Then we got the triple threat for the TV title. I was actually really surprised that this came on that early, because you know it's a title match. So you know, I was a bit surprised there, but I was happy with it overall. I think El Generico really made this match worth its while, but so did Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett was playing his heel character very well when he came to the ring with Brutal Bob and Maria. Very well played. I love the CM Punk chants. They were amazing. Directed there. Mike Bennett there in sloppy seconds. Beautiful reactions from the crowd there. Generico, the guy is amazing, man. No one can disagree that El Generico is an absolutely fantastic wrestler and a great personality. And I really think that the main event scene needs El Generico. I would have thought you'd put El Generico there after Final Battle 2010 when he beat Steen. I think he had perfect momentum there to move into the main event scene, and he wrestled one match at No Escape against, I think it was No Escape anyway, against Roddy, and then he wrestled Davey again recently at a house show, and those are really his only times he's been shown in the main event scene, and really everyone knew he wasn't going to win the belt anyway. Generico is over enough to be in the main event scene, and I really think he needs to be there, and I actually think possibly he could be going there now, but I'll have to discuss that at the end with the aftermath of the main event. Overall, good match. Jay Lethal, Generico, and Bennett really worked hard in this match. A lot of back and forth action. Match starts out, Bennett playing the pussy shit, chickening out, coming in the ring, proving a few pushes and everything, till eventually gets fully involved. Some nice wrestling in this match, really nice. Finish comes Generico. Generico gets eliminated first, which really, well, I didn't see that coming, to be honest, but it did. And then Lethal gets the pin with, I think, the lethal injection is what he calls it, on Mike Bennett. And yeah, really surprised that I thought Lethal was going to drop the belt to Bennett, but Bennett didn't win. And you know, I do see him winning the TV title, but I don't know when that'll be. Maybe the Miami show. I don't know. Maybe the Miami show. Next we have my second favorite match tonight. Yes, I said second favorite, and this is gonna get me some heat. And again, I'll have to discuss that when I get to the main event. But it was my second favorite match of the night. Kevin Steen, Steve Corino. Perfect story build-up. Perfect everything. The match had everything you wanted. It was brutal. These two guys, Kevin with his size and Steve with his age, performed perfectly in this match. And I really, really enjoyed this match. I did enjoy this more than the main event, but I gave the main event a high score. But this match was great. Just the spots were amazing. I think someone said it here on YouTube, the spots built up in power and in intensity until basically Steen hits the package pile driver on Corino through like 4 chairs. Then he gets the pin. It was very, very good match. I don't want to spoil it. I think if you are not a big fan of Ring of Honor, you should order this pay-per-view solely to watch this match, because this match was very, very good. And I just think that Steve Corino just performed absolutely amazing in this match with his selling and everything, and you know, really it was an overall good match. I think everyone thought Jacobs was going to turn heel. He didn't do that. Steen basically won the match, beat the shit out of everyone, and then Generico comes down, both battle, and basically Steen just destroys Generico, puts him through a table. Absolutely crazy. Generico gets more or less stretched out. That's where you go for your first intermission break. It was a really good match, and here's what I'm going to discuss now. Generico moving into the main event, possibly, because he's feuding with Steen now. Now that's all I'll say till I get to the main event. Right, then we had the intermission. Here's where things really went downhill a slight bit for me. This match, the tag team gauntlet match, way too long, way too long. You get coming out first, you have Cedric, Alexander, and Caprice, Coleman, and the Bravado starting the match up. And really, this match was the Bravados versus Alexander and Coleman was very slow paced, very boring in my opinion, and just really didn't put either team over enough. The Bravados really are a very underrated tag team, and I just still believe they shouldn't have been eliminated first. But I'm actually very impressed by Caprice, Coleman, Cedric, Alexander. They got the pin on Bravados. Bravados eliminated. Outcome of Future Shock. This is where the match picks up a bit. It was actually very good back and forth action between Future Shock and Caprice Coleman. A lot of good double team moves. The lifting leg lariat, I really like that one by Coleman and Alexander. But Future Shock got the pin with the lariat style, sweeping lariat style move. Got the pin there, and obviously out comes Young Bucks. Now this is where I knew there was still, after the Young Bucks, ANX to come. I knew, well, this is still going to last a while. And it was like tough, 2:45 in the morning here in the UK. I just said to myself, you know, I want to watch this pay-per-view. It's already gone on long enough. 2 hours already, and you've got the three matches, well, 3.5 matches left, and you know they ain't going to be short. I just went to bed. I was so tired. So I woke up this morning, rewatched that match from the beginning, and obviously watched the rest of the pay-per-view. Young Bucks are very good. I really like them heel. You can see this in PWG as well. They are great heels. They know how to garner heat while still being flawless in the ring. They are absolutely fantastic. You can't disagree with that. Some very, very nice moves by the Young Bucks, who actually really proved something well in this match. They eliminate Future Shock, and out comes ANX with an injured Rhett Titus. If you didn't know this, at a previous house show, I think it was North Carolina, I believe. I think it was, yeah, North Carolina. Young Bucks injured Titus's knee, and that was a major selling point of this match. Titus was outside for about 70% of the match. Young Bucks double teaming Kenny King, and that's more or less the whole match. And then Titus gets back up in the ring. He comes in, tries to make a comeback, but Young Bucks destroy him, and I believe it's Jeremy gets the spinning toe hold. It's like a toe hold submission variation on Titus. Titus doesn't tap, but the ref calls it. Young Bucks get a tag title shot. good match. I really found this match kind of hard to give a rating to, because it was, you know, it was just tale of two halves. The first half of the show, I barely gave 3 stars. I gave it 3 stars. That was all the way up until Future Shock was eliminated. No, sorry, that was until the Young Bucks came out. Then the second half of the show, which was after that, I gave 4 stars, because I thought there was some very good tag team action there. But overall, I gave the match 3.5. Very let down by the beginning tag stuff, but I think Caprice, Coleman, and Cedric Alexander very good, and I still think they're not gelling as well as they should be. Some of their moves are a bit lackluster, but give them a few months, and I think, you know, they'll be really getting into their stride. Good match, I'd say. Next we have the Roddy's Invitational Challenge. Really funny sequence at the beginning. Truth Martini comes out, they count to 10 to get the count out victory, saying some funny stuff, calling this woman a whore. It's just, yeah, it was just hilarious. Gets to 9, out comes Chris Hero. Yes, it was Chris Hero. Everyone thought it would be someone else. You know, a lot of people did think it was Nigel, and possibly we'll still get that match, because before the match, Nigel said basically Roddy just ducked the challenge from Nigel, didn't want to face him. So we possibly might get that match, and if it's going to happen, it's probably going to go down Miami. That's what I'm saying. Chris Hero came out again, kind of bittersweet to see him, because really want to see him in WWE with Anthony Cesaro, whatever his name is now, Claudio Castagnoli. I really want to see the Kings of Wrestling in WWE, but you know, hopefully Chris, he's got another fitness test to pass for WWE, and hopefully he passes this one and gets there, because he deserves to be there. After all, he's put his body on the line for so long. He really deserves to be there. And just a quick side note, you need to notice now how dependent WWE has become on the independent scene. Before, you know, FCW was making some good guys, and now it's really slowed down, and they are getting most of their new wrestlers coming from the independent scene. They got Tyler Black, Daniel Bryan, of course, CM Punk, Castagnoli, of course, you know, Ambrose. Got all these guys, and they come from the independent scene. So anyway, good. I actually really enjoyed this match. As I said, all these 3 matches are probably going to get a higher rating than everyone else on YouTube. I gave it 3 3/4. I actually really enjoyed this match. It was beautiful back and forth action. Chris's elbow is still amazing. Very, very good match. Final sequence, Roddy does his usual finishing sequence and beats Hero. Gets to 1, 2, 3. Good match. I actually really, really enjoyed this match, and I think most people, if you go and watch it again, will actually enjoy it as well. Next we got the dismal Briscoe match, which with World's Greatest Tag Team, which was terrible. I wouldn't say it was the worst match of the night, but booking wise, it was the worst match of the night. Wrestling wise, no. Booking wise, yes. It was terrible. Briscoes come out, get attacked by Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, and that lasts about 15 minutes. Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team just beating the shit out of the Briscoes with the chairs. Jay's busted open, takes an unprotected chair shot. Mark's getting his ass kicked outside the ring by Benjamin. Haas was, you know, Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team got real heat in New York. They were hated on, and I have to give this props to Charlie Haas. He played off perfectly on that character. Just swearing at the fans and everything. He played that character off really well with the double switch for face and heel between the Briscoes. The match itself, when it finally got started, it didn't go that long. Wrestling wise, it was okay. It was better than, in my opinion, the Tommaso Jimmy Rave match. But, you know, it took too long. The beatdown didn't need to go on that long. I know you're trying to get the storyline across about attacking Shelton and everything, but it really didn't need to go on that long. Shelton got carried to the back at one point with his injured ribs. He did come back out, but to do the Doomsday with Haas on, I think it was Jay, or no, it was on Mark, I think, yeah. And anyway, he just gets pushed off the apron, and Briscoes reverse and hit their own Doomsday and win the match. Happy for the Briscoes to win the title for the 7th time. You know, props to him. Obviously, now we ain't going to see ANX win the belts anytime soon. Briscoes going to hold this belt until September pay-per-view, I'm going to say. I'm going to go off the limb and say that. But, you know, props to the Briscoes. Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, they got a lot of hate, but you got to give the guys props. Played off perfectly on the crowd. Again, the booking in this match was terrible. Really was. Pacing was off. It just, at points, stuff didn't make sense. So that's why I gave it 3 1/4. Quite generous, yes, but, you know, I gave him that. Now we have the main event. Davey Richards vs. Eddie Edwards 3. Now, I've seen a lot of reviews already on YouTube, but this match has been shitted on big time. Big time. Now, let's talk about the flaws first. The run-in by the House of Truth was a big no. It was just one of them things. Now, I didn't watch the whole pay-per-view like in one go, so I was refreshed when I watched it. Now, if you're watching the pay-per-view for 4 hours like everyone else, and you just want to see the show finish, and the House of Truth come out, and you're just thinking, wow, what the fuck is this shit? And, you know, obviously, the match still went on after the House of Truth were back, kicked out ringside. Now, what I don't get there is you put so much emphasis on Eddie's training with Dan Severn, and Severn leaves ringside and he doesn't come back. You put so much emphasis on it, and really, both guys, here's another thing they know about the match, they no-sold most moves, and it was just times when you're just saying, stay down, stay the fuck down. Like, really, I was rooting for Eddie in this match. I don't know why, because I'm not the massive Eddie Edwards fan, but I really was rooting for him in this match, because I just hate it how Davey, his moves are so, you know, so predictable, if you know what I mean. He does a same set of moves all the time, and Eddie is in my opinion, he's a better chain wrestler. That Davey produces more strong style finishing, but Eddie, I think, is a better overall exhaustive wrestler. Now, Davey, the end sequence was, Davey kicked the shit out of him and he broke out of it twice. And then Davey just thought, fuck this, and he just kicked him in the head. Got the win on Eddie and retained the title. I don't have many problems with Davey retaining the belt. Just when the match was, it was just lacking something that maybe if Eddie won, it would have been there. Now, Eddie was talking about all these new reversals and stuff that Dan had taught him. You didn't really see much of this. Okay, there was a bit of glimmers of this, and when he got his new submission style move in, he was so far into the match that just didn't look effectful. Whereas Davey was hitting the ankle lock from all the way from the beginning. So really, like, they didn't play fully off that storyline as I would have hoped. But I gave this one 4 3/4. A lot higher than most people. I actually really enjoyed this match. Don't know why. Not as good as Best in the World, but I thought it was still a very good match. Right, that more or less finishes. Pay-per-view gave it 8.25 out of 10. Quite a high score, but I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have a good Christmas and happy holidays.